Hello, we're going to talk about assigning oxidation numbers to atoms in various species. You know the rules for the oxidation numbers, and so I have a series of molecules, ions, and atoms on the board here, and we'll just talk about how we assign oxidation numbers. So we're going to start with just elemental materials. So I have some calcium and I have chlorine. They're in their elemental form, and elements have an oxidation number of 0. So whether they're single atoms or in their combined elemental form like chlorine, the oxidation number is still 0. When you're talking about single atom ions, the oxidation number is just the charge on the ion. So if I have barium +2, the oxidation number is +2. If I have nitrogen -3, the oxidation number is -3. When we move to molecules, then there's a set of hints that we give you for various atoms in the molecule you can use to figure out the atoms you don't know. So for example, for Fe2O3, the sum of the oxidation numbers of all the atoms in the molecule have to add up to the charge on the molecule. In this case, there is no charge, so the oxidation numbers have to add up to 0. So we set up a simple algebraic equation. We have 2 irons and 3 oxygens, and whatever the oxidation number for iron and oxygen are, those all have to add up to 0. Now I don't know what iron is. It's a transition metal and it can have a variety of charges. However, on the series of hints that I gave you, fluoride is always -1, hydrogen is usually +1, the number 3 atom was oxygen is usually -2. Well, I have oxygen here, so I'm going to assume it's its usual -2. And now I have an equation with one unknown. 2 times the oxidation number of iron plus 3 times -2 equals 0. And this means iron has to have an oxidation number of +3. If we move down to an even more complicated molecule, like potassium permanganate, the same rules apply. I have an overall charge on my molecule of 0. That means potassium plus manganese plus 4 times oxygen has to sum up to 0. It's not fluoride, it's not hydrogen, but I've got oxygen again. So I'm going to assume oxygen is usual -2. Permanganate isn't on those list of hints, but the next thing after oxygen were the group 1 elements, and all group 1 elements have an oxidation number of +1. Potassium is a group 1 element, so it's +1. So I have 1 plus manganese plus 4 times -2 equals 0. And if I solve that for manganese, manganese is going to come out +7. And so that's how you find the oxidation numbers for all the atoms in a molecule. You use the hints that you've gotten about fluorine, hydrogen, oxygen, group 1 metals, and group 2 metals. Everything else is going to be there in a form where you can use those to figure out the unknown atom. Thank you.